I wanted to show you how I do the heart pattern on a block, and I picked this one because you'll be able to see it well. First, with the pale pink thread, I stabilize the block by stitching in the ditch all the way around it. You're not supposed to be able to see any stitching. I'm not that good, but I get close in. And then I do the sashing part around with the swirls. That's freehand. I just move the machine like this and make my swirls here. And then I'm ready to do the measuring to get the heart properly in the middle. So now, Doug, you can zoom in. So this block at the top is 23.5 centimeters across. So I center it on a little bit so that I can hit the 12 mark. I'm using this little marker. It's water erasable, and when I'm finished, I erase it with ice water with a little baking soda in it, and it will never come back. And I make the tiniest mark here, which is the center of the top. And then the bottom of the block turned out to be a little over 24 centimeters. So I can put in the middle on the 12 here. And then I place the ruler from dot at the top to dot at the bottom, and I know I have a line right down the center. I measure 3 inches down for the place where the heart comes together at the top, and 6.5 inches down for the bottom point of the heart, so that as I'm going, I know the spots I have to hit. I use 2 rulers. This is the heart ruler, and I'm using the largest one on here. It'll be 1/4 inch smaller than this all the way around. You use it on one side, and then you flip it to the other. And I have a whole lot of arc rulers, and this was the one I thought was best for this. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to come down to this point, make the heart, and come back up to here, and that will complete the block. So I'm just going to have Doug videotape that whole process. So the needle is down and up. I pull up the bobbin thread, bring that red thread up, and then I do a tacking stitch, which just holds that there so it won't unravel later. I center this, and I have to be 1/4 inch here, and down at the bottom I have to be 1/4 inch from the point, and I have to do my best not to wiggle the ruler. When you've used a rotary cutter, you know the ruler wants to slide. So I put some weight on it, but I can't put too much weight on it because then the machine won't move. And I'm going to run the edge of the foot along the edge of the ruler. I think it was Vera in Florida who said you're working on the vector, which means I'm both pulling forward and I'm pushing into the ruler at the same time. So I'm kind of pushing on that vector angle. And I'm going to just move my hand now to stabilize it at the bottom. My goal is to come right into the corner and stop. And then I come across the bottom, touching here, bringing this up so I just have a little space there. And again, I'm going to hold this as steady as I can and come along it. Into the corner, and then up this side. Those are my 3 long lines. Sometimes you have to be a contortionist to do this. I was pushing down so hard it didn't want to move. That's what that was about. Now I'm going to use this same ruler to arc down to that little spot I made. And now I'm going to switch rulers to my heart ruler, and I'm going to hook this on so that this is tucked in here, and I'm going to use the dot down here to be right in the middle of the point. And this can get tricky because it's hard to stay on that vector pressure and move around the heart and not sew over your fingers. So I'm going to go around and stop and move my hand. Try to keep everything steady. Come around the bend. Get my hand out of the way again and hold this steady enough so it can come straight into, stop that, come straight into the dot. And then flip the ruler. Now I'm hooking it here and I'm centering the top little blue dot right in the middle of this top loop so that my heart comes back to that. And here's where you can whack your fingers. It's not so much the needle, it's this bar. And if you have arthritis in your finger and this bar gives you a good whack in your finger, it doesn't make you happy. So it's tricky. Go. Now I've got the heart, and then my last step is to take this back up so that the heart's kind of hanging. I kind of see it as almost like a lavalier hanging on a chain coming in. And then I just do the tacking stitch to end it. And can you see that that's a heart in your picture? You get in nice and close.
Let me get in closer.
Okay.
Because the thread is so fine.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
That I had to get into here to make it visible.
Okay, that's good. And then also, if you'll back up a minute, I can release this and we can see what it looks like on the back of the quilt, which is pretty cool. You want to go around there and can you catch what that shape looks like on the back?
Sure can.
Okay, that'd be good.
Let me get back. There it is, the whole thing, the three arcs, the double arc and the heart.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, so that's how I do that. And people, I don't usually say figure out how much time it takes me to do a quilt, but people have been asking me, and I thought you might be interested. To do a whole row with the prep and the hearts is about 2.5 hours. So I figure with 8 rows plus mounting it and ripping out mistakes, it's going to be about 21 hours to quilt the whole quilt. Okay.